Thank you and welcome to this chapter part of the OAC Days. We've got Gabor Kiss with us doing an interview in between flying to the one in Budapest. So I'm so glad to have you speaking into this, and I'm really excited about what it is that you're bringing, because the space of digital collaboration and this whole idea of an open source ecology is really, really exciting. Just one thing that I just wanted to mention is this is part of our OSC Days, which is part of a global movement. And Gabor Kiss, as we mentioned, will be in Budapest a little bit later today or tomorrow. But he'll be joining us live streaming through to the Cape Town event. So excited to share the space with you. And are you the answer to our problems?
Yeah.
It sounds like you're the answer to our problems.
Yeah. You see my screen?
I do see your screen,
right.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gabor, the chairman of the board at the Ambient Association, which is a non-profit association registered in Spain, in the Canary Islands. And we have some developments, including our platform, which I will show you in a minute. But first, I have a short presentation about Ambient, because we truly believe that the next industrial revolution is about an exponential open source technologies, large-scale cooperation, redistribution of resources, and environmental sustainability at the same time. So Ambient now provides share of know-how, blueprints, products, and resources for the members. It is also a next-generation sharing economy model, a DIY maker movement, community-based solution package for the 21st century, a peer-to-peer open source platform cooperative, an alternative lifestyle, and of course, in the long term, it's a sustainable, cost-effective, decentralized socio-economic model. We have some products for building houses and self-sustainable dwellings for people, but part of our development is our platform, which you can see here now. The platform's overall, so it's from ideas to prototypes. The Ambient will be the first crowdfunding platform, aims to speed up the collaborative open source product development.
Oh wow!
Yes, that's my son on the screen. Okay. So if you have an idea, you can start collaborating with others and collecting backers together right away while showing your project details and updates. At the end, once a prototype has been made, anyone can modify or download the blueprints for free under a Creative Commons license. This way, we can ensure that the products become truly public property. And when you're finished your collaboration with others, you can, if you have the prototypes of open source products, maybe you want to sell or let people to get your products locally. So through the platform, you can let manufacturers and distributors find you and help to make your product wide accessible anywhere in the world. So the Ambient is an acronym. It means envision and encourage technological alternatives, from establishing new designer collaborations to crowdfunding your open source projects. Ambient has the tools. So how can I stop the screen sharing? Okay.
We can just.
Okay, I'm here. Hi.
Come back to you. Hi. That is amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay.
And it sounds like such a solution right now. I mean, there's so many other platforms that are doing it, but there's nobody really playing in this field. And naturally, there is such a desire and such a need to be playing in this field.
Yeah, sure. The Ambient platform's overall usage is free of charge. The platform is basically two-sided with an additional row. One group of users are the makers, obviously. The other group is from regular users, or let's say consumers. And there are no boundaries between sides, so we could use the term prosumers. But
so what is the role of the consumer then in that space? So, are they interacting with the product design, or?
Yeah, if you register to the platform, you can be a maker and a consumer in the same time. So you can back other projects and you can start your project, collaborating with others. And that's why we use the term prosumers, because, from the two words. To simplify the usage, there are layout changes reflecting to your actual role. We have 3 different core interactions in the platform. One is for makers, creating, documenting, and version tracking the open source ideas, blueprints, proof of concepts. The second one is a built-in crowdfunding to ensure financing and backing your projects by the consumer. And the third one is connecting to the others above. We make access to third-party distributors to join it. So because in our system, we want to ensure people that to get the open source projects locally. That's why we have to establish collaborations with local governments and businesses to create collaborative maker spaces or innovation centers. And we can use these innovation centers to distribute the product locally, and it's a digital.
That's amazing, because you've really brought everything under an ecosystem, and you've really kind of created an ecology of it. With crowdfunding, you're always just doing one piece of almost the industrial production timeline, and this allows for interplay on so many different levels.
Sure. And the platform will have curation methods and built-in transaction handling to ensure different groups of users to get their donations and fundings in the products. And for donations, obviously, you can use cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, and you can connect through the Ethereum platform or ecosystem.
Right.
And all the blueprints are open source, Creative Commons 4.0, share alike license, or whatever you choose, and free to download after curation. But to get useful feedbacks, we start the beta version in a single mode, designed especially for makers or OSC days groups and around the world. And in the second stage, the second and the third phase is about involving the regular users and distributors, because it's a chicken and egg problem. You don't have consumers until you don't have any products, but the consumers will not come if they have any content, So
absolutely, it's that trick for entrepreneurs that they need that customer as much as they need that product or service that they have.
Sure. But first of all, it's not a we are not a web shop or something like that. So if you want to donate a project, or you are a backer of a project, you can let the project leaders, any type of project, to get their funding to finish the proof of concept. But at the end, obviously 90% or more of the people are not able to create any products locally without any knowledge, So if you find someone who can help you to create the product and to make it useful, maybe it has costs, but locally, and then you can collect the materials locally. So that's why we make it this way.
So something I'm hearing in that is it also has like an intuitive nature. So it's so easy to go and create a product of one nature, thinking that that's the right thing to create.
Yeah,
and here in a collaboration, it can constantly be growing and tweaking and evolving to what is actually needed in the audience base.
Yeah.
Difference with the normal crowdfunding sites, for example.
Sure. And maybe if you provide access to beta testers from OSC days through subscriptions, the focus group obviously could decide is it suitable or not. In order to reach these potential users, instead of make a simple questionnaire, we make a one-pager, what I showed to you, and we describe the basic functionalities of the MVNT platform. So it makes sense to expand the introductory site functionalities with a questionnaire or frequently asked questions section, where we can collect comments and suggestions during the development.
So you're actually prototyping this development as you're putting and rolling out this product, which is great in terms of being transparent and leading it.
Yes. And the other thing is that the platform at the end will be also open source. So we want to allow or able to make it make access for other developers. So not just the products will be open source, but the platform itself.
Brilliant.
So, but we are in the middle of the development, so it's not ready now. But But sure, this year it could be a breakthrough.
No, it sounds like an amazing, great breakthrough, and it would be amazing to play around with the system and to really dip toes and feet into that whole process.
Yep.
So where do you see yourself in terms of what's needed in terms of that, and where you'll be ready to at least go into beta phase in terms of that?
Okay, so maybe this year we try to involve your community to or any other communities who are interested in this development. So that's what we know now. And after the OSC Days event in Budapest, we know much better about this process. And that's the first time when we meet together with the members, because the Ambiente project and the platform development group also is from remote workers, enthusiastic volunteers. So we never met each other. So I live in Spain, right? I'm in Brussels. Some other guys that live in the UK, some in Hungary, some in Korea, or something like that. So we truly want to make a global collaboration about these topics.
So if the room who's going to be obviously watching this on Saturday and Sunday, and they want to kind of jump on board, what's the invitation? What's the radical next step for us to engage in this platform and to bring something to it?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question very well, because I'm looking for my son here. Okay.
Well, as Cape Town is tuning in, and as other cities will also be tuning in, what's the radical invitation for us to step in and be part of this process with you?
Yeah, we make it open source through GitHub. So I think it's the easier way to involve. So
okay.
So we will inform you and the community about the process. But first, maybe we have to make this questionnaire and A/B testing, to get feedback.
Yes.
So I think that's the process of involving you and other people.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That sounds things. So what would you say is your critical question right now?
My question?
Your critical question in terms of the questionnaire.
It's mostly about the UX design, the layout of the website, which is suitable for the most people, which is not, which functions we need and which we don't need. So I think we can make it in through this summer.
Okay. That sounds absolutely doable and possible, and I'm sure I'm excited. I want to play with this. Yeah, no, it's definitely seen as a thing, and it's kind of curious why we haven't gone into these really shared spaces.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it only feels like the circular economy concept and open source is really filtering out in bigger ways.
Sure.
I'll admit I'm new here, so I'm entering an unknown world.
Sure, and I think the whole process of open sourcing the research and development part of any development, that's why we are involved to make or establish maker spaces. Right now in Hungary and 2 places we can make it from European Union funds or from private investment or maybe crowdfunding. So we can crowdfund the crowdfunder project. So yeah, we are middle of this.
Proof is in the pudding, right?
Yeah.
That may be the most ingenious way of bringing people in, because they see the process, they see it developing, and they're part of it from the get-go.
Yes, sure.
Really exciting.
Okay. So do you have any questions? Any more questions?
Any more questions? Sure. It just feels, I mean, where did this idea come from for you? And what was it about bringing these different technologies together that just seemed like an obvious win to you, rather than just doing the conventional crowdfunding or digital
I made some studies. I made some studies on my own about exponential technologies like 3D printing and renewable energy, nanotechnology, robotics, AI, and something like that. So, or maybe, and we the first at the beginning, we were focusing on how to get people interested about the self-sustainable living. So
Yes.
we basically we are focusing on totally off-grid self-sustainable living. That's why we have some blueprints and some cheap how to say it, because I'm Hungarian and I'm not speaking very well English, but I'm
If
just
Polish and Hungarian were a little bit closer, maybe we could communicate on that level.
Yeah, so the project started as creating and building houses and dwellings from shipping containers, put in on some renewable energy sources, just like solar panels or wind turbines, and we can make smart homes from these dwellings. You can create your own food locally through alternative gardening, just like aeroponics and hydroponics or something like that. So we put together these exponential technologies in one package, and that was the beginning of the ambient project. And it's a holistic approach, because some companies and some people doesn't think about connecting these dots, because some people get some solar panels on the houses, and I will it will less money to I don't know how to say it costs it reduces costs of energy usage. Okay,
yes,
but
absolutely.
that's one part. If you have to go to the supermarket and get your food, it's I think it's connected, because if you create your own energy, you can create your own products, you can grow your own food, you don't have to spend money for this thing. So it's a massive cost reduction. And in 2014 there was a book from Jeremy Rifkin about the zero marginal cost society, and it helped me to finalize the whole idea that these things are connecting, and the massive cost reductions through these exponential technologies, and especially open source exponential technologies, will make this cost radically heading to zero. And at the end, you don't have to work anymore, maybe, or you don't have to move into the city to find a work, something like that. You can make everything locally, and and I'm also the communication advisor of the European Union Parliament, which has a basic income movement. In the Social and Economical Committee in 2014, created a non-profit organization, the European Union, which is called Basic Income Europe movement, and I'm still the communication advisor of this organization. And from this approach that everyone has to get enough money to live, it's some part of redistribution, but it's a financial redistribution. And when we started our project, the ambient project, we just think about is it surely enough? Is it the end of this process? Will the basic income provide everyone a bigger or more equal access to things? And I thought that it will be not enough. It's just it's not the purpose of basic income. Basic income can be a tool to create the environment for people to think about alternatives. And when we think about alternatives, we quickly go to the point when we are recognize that we don't have to I don't know the word. So we don't rely on money alone.
Yes.
Because it will be, everything will remain the same if we use just money or financial redistribution. That's why we invented this connecting dots project, like the ambient, when you can reduce your cost to zero, and at the end you don't have to fear about how you would get food, how you get energy, and it's part of a peer-to-peer trend, you know, and
absolutely,
and the decentralization and the blockchain revolution and something like that. For example, in these communities, you can use blockchain to or time banks to exchange values between two or more people. So it's a lot of ideas, and we have to simplify it because we can talk about it for hours.
We could. It's one of those topics that opens up a whole new world.
So that's why we had to simplify it and focusing on households, how you get proper food, how you get zero marginal cost products, and you know, how to get your food, how to create your own house, how to help your community, how to involve businesses, government, how to make education programs through this platform. Yeah, and right now we are here.
I think there's so much value in what you said. Like, one thing that I really want to highlight that really excites me is it creates a place of buy-in. Like you talked about the solar panel. You could just put a solar panel up there and pretend that you're making your contribution to the big thing, but still exchange in a world and play in a world that's still doing the old decisions. Here you're giving a solution that changes the mindset, because it's easy to go, I want to do something great, but there aren't platforms that allow me to think in a new way or create in a new way.
Sure, it will change our habits, I think.
Yeah.
And our thinking. And that's the most important part, because some people doesn't see the big picture.
Yes.
Let's be honest. So they doesn't care about the big picture, but we are heading to big troubles if we don't approach problems on a holistic way. You know, that's the reason why.
Absolutely, and that holistic piece is so important, just going back to that solar power panel example that you use, because again, you can be out of integrity. Say you're showing something, but you're still not actually contributing to the right bottom line. You're still actually being a consumer in this other economy.
Sure.
So this becomes a solution to that in so many ways.
Sure. Yes.
Very, very exciting. And clearly, and a potential market. Sorry, I'm going into like a completely other conversation, but like a complete way of getting people buying in. Like we've got we've got a system that can funnel and hold these conversations. Now it's just about the change makers, the designers, the kinds of people who are listening into this to buy in and go, this is where we want to create, because we see the value in that.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, is there anything critical? Because I know you've got to fly.
I have to go to the airport in Brussels. Yeah.
Is there anything critical that you want Cape Town and everybody watching right now to know, or an invitation, or a seed?
I just want to make an invitation for this. But when we get to the point where we can allow people to connect to this, it's okay, and we will inform you. Right now, you have to know this ambient project is totally organized through Facebook. So we created some Facebook groups, and right now we have more than 10 Facebook groups, and now we have education part, makers groups, and the platform design group, and I don't know, we have lot of groups, and maybe but the strange part of this that I'm Hungarian, and my friends are also Hungarian, so we have an obstacle to get or to send this message for the whole world, because not every one of us can speak well English or well enough to involve so many people. So right now it's a Hungarian project, but between Hungarians who are living in different places of the world, but at the end, all of our volunteers are from Hungary. So
and yet the technology and the idea doesn't have a language. It's something.
Yeah, I know, but we have to. but we have to involve English speaking. Okay, it's fine. It's done. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so I think I have to go now.
Yes, you're going to need to
Sorry.
take care of your son and fly off to Budapest.
Okay.
It was
Thank
great
you.
to connect with you, Gabor, and looking forward to collaborating and making this platform become a reality.
Yeah, I'm sure. Thanks.
Perfect.
Okay.
Pleasure.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.